All right, we're going to take a look at the volume of a cylinder in this example right here. And I'm going to bring it back to something that I've used a lot in the past and our general formula for a prism. So anytime we're trying to find the volume of a prism, we can use this general form. Volume equals base area times length. Now the length could be the length this way, okay, so side to side, or it could be the length up and down, which we would often call the height. So depending on what you see it as, that's what we mean by the length. The volume of a prism represents, we have to find the area of the base, okay, and that's usually going to be the non-rectangular side of the prism. In this case here, it's a circle. If we have a triangular prism, it's a triangle, but we're going to look specifically at this one right here where we have a circle. Now, a bunch of our shapes or 3D shapes are going to have specific volume formulas that are a variation of our general formula. So if we look at the general formula of a prism, but a cylinder in this case, the base area is pi r squared. So if we plug pi r squared in there and then multiply by the length, we're going to get the volume of the cylinder. Now, you might see other variations of this formula that change the length to the height. It's the same thing. It's just the length of the cylinder or the height of the cylinder. It's the same thing. It's that stretch that the cylinder has from circle to circle. Okay, so you have to think of it from circle to circle. Now, in this case here, we are given a radius of 5, a length or height of 12, and so when you plug that into your calculators, you should get an answer of 942.48 cubic yards. Now remember, this is a volume, so we always need to have our units in cubic units, okay, because we're dealing with those little tiny squares or tiny cubes that fill up this volume. Now, these aren't actually really tiny cubes. These are yard by yard cubes, so it's pretty big. This is a big cylinder. But in the general case of it, we have to make sure that we have our units in yards cubed. Be very careful when you're doing this question. You are only squaring the radius. You're not squaring pi times radius. You're only squaring the radius. So if you struggle with the squaring idea, do 5 times 5. Pi times 5 times 5 times 12 when you're to come up with your final answer.